Hey guys, the Super Reviews here for another quick review for you. I haven't really done one of these ever on the channel, but I wanted to shed some light on something. For those of you who don't know, I'm becoming a big reader of certain books, autobiographies, etc. And one of the things that I just finished reading was the book Scar Tissue by Anthony Kiedis of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Here's the book. I just finished reading this a couple weeks ago, and I got to tell you, from the prologue of the book, the little text before the actual chapters begin of the person's life, it gives a little backstory about where the person is in their life and whatnot. This book came out in 2004, and I just finished reading the whole thing recently, and I got to tell you, what a trip this was. I love the Chili Peppers. I think they're a fantastic, unique rock band as well. They're one of the best rock groups, rap groups, reggae groups, ska groups. They are a phenomenal band, and they have done a ton of versatile stuff over the course of their career, and they're fantastic. So, with that being said, I read Anthony Kiedis' autobiography, and I got to tell you, like I said, from the prologue, the opening of this book, it was insane. I'm probably late to the party because it did come out in 2005, but I thought it was ridiculous. Because it was full of it's his own story. It's about his life, and then he basically did heroin a lot of his life. He was stuck doing so much cocaine. He filled his lung of blood with like every drug imaginable. He's lucky to be alive. And if you're a fan of rock and roll, if you're a fan of alternative rock, if you're a fan of 90s rock, if you're a fan of even the Chili Peppers in general, and you have not read this book, and A Scar Tissue by Anthony Kiedis, I highly recommend you get on it, because it's actually a really fascinating, heroic story about how he could have died at any given moment, and he's lucky to be alive today. He did so much drugs and so much like craziness and so much incredible thing, and yet it turned out he has one of the most successful bands in the world with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So, and I'm wearing one of their shirts, of course. I have tickets for them later this year. One of their stadium dates coming up in 2022. And I'm very excited to see them, but I'm also very curious to see him live. Because, I've read his book, I've read his story. It's frightening. Some of the things he writes about is frightening. Until, like, the 90s when he, like, in fact, without going into too much detail, like, he contracted hepatitis C at one point, and he cured it in, like, the early 2000s, because he got some, like, some European cure. You have to read this book. If you're a rock and roll fan, if you love, like, interesting stories about people's lives, if you love autobiographies, this is definitely a book I recommend that you guys can check out and get to know someone's life story. It's incredibly dark. Like, you know what I mean? I do the Super Review Show. I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky guy for the most part. But that being said, this book frightened me and showed me how dark people can get, and how like he fought his way to get heroin left and right, black tar heroin, every type of heroin you can imagine. It's frightening. And it's more than just a drug story. It's also like a success story as well. He's clean and sober now. He doesn't crave any drugs, alcohol, anything, because he's that clean now. And it's just crazy to me how he wrote about his life. And it's a really fascinating story to me. And I think that you guys, if you're into that kind of stuff, which I know that some people out there might be, this is definitely a book I would recommend you get into. It's, like I said, it's called Anthony Kiedis' Scar Tissue. And it just tells his life of recklessness, redemption, and how he influenced a whole generation of musicians, to quote the back cover, of course. But yeah, honestly, I like the fact that I just did it. I've read a couple other books as well. I might do a couple other book reviews as well, because I'm a big fan of autobiographies of certain artists I like. And I figured, why not? So, yeah. Anyways, what do you guys think? Have you guys read this book? Have you heard about this book? Are you a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan? Jump down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts on this. And for all of your book reviews and editorials, keep it locked on the Super Review Show. The J-Man, it's off to rock. See you guys later.